Hello all, welcome back to another video and welcome to Sammy G's World of Cinema. Just getting this camera in the right place there. Bear with. There we go, that's better. So yeah, today on the channel, guys, I thought I would come on camera and do a bit of a different video today. Now, I was at work yesterday and I think it was on the bus journey back home, or I don't know what. I think I was sitting waiting for the bus at this bus stop, and I thought, do you know what? This could be like a cool thing to do. Now I am gonna tag a few people to do a response video to this. Absolutely optional, of course. You know, like, it is absolutely optional if you want to do this or not. But basically, the topic is you pick a favourite film from a director, and basically what I mean by that is you basically pick how many directors you want to select. And basically, so like, I've got 10 directors on here, and not necessarily a couple of these are some of my favourite directors, but it's just random 10 directors and a favourite film per that director from each of that director, to put a better term there. So yeah, so I thought I would do this as a bit of a, I thought this would be a cool, fun video to make, and hopefully I can get some of you guys involved in this. I am gonna tag a few people to respond to this, so I thought I would actually do that first before I forget, and then I will talk about 10 favourite films from each of 10 directors. So the people I'm going to nominate are Jodie's Movie Realm. I'm going to tag Pizza Pedro's Movie Cavern. I'm going to also nominate Ash at Popcorn and Horror, and Tim at Tim's Film Waffle, and Lisa Love. So I thought I would nominate 5 people there. Like I say, absolutely optional there, guys, but I thought it'd be cool to kind of get a few people involved there if they were up to doing a response video to this. And it'd just be interesting learning from a lot of people in the film community, like, what's their favourite film from a certain director. I just think this would be a really cool video to make. So anyways, guys, grab yourself a cuppa, and I'm going to talk about 10 films and 10 favourite films from each of a director there. So let's roll the credits and we'll get on with the show, shall we? Come on, bring on the show. Let's go. Let's rock and roll.
Blu-ray stacking up, yeah, the collection grows. Singing like nobody's watching, let the good times flow. Movies on repeat, yeah, he living that life. Great guy, big heart, yeah, he doing it right. Screen light glowing while the speakers bang. Sammy G vibing to the scenes and the frames. Love for the art, yeah, the passion stay true. From the first press play to the end credits roll.
So the first film I have gone for now, a film that I think I watched, I think it was when I had a bit of the lurgy or something. I was a bit ill around this certain period in July 2022. I think I just had a bit of the lurgy and stuff. And basically, yeah, I saw this came on Disney Plus, and I thought, you know what? This does look like a bit of me here. And so the director, but he's also the leading actor, is Zach Braff. And my favourite film from Zach Braff, and starring Zach Braff, should I say, is Garden State. Yeah, I gotta say, guys, on each viewing, this film just gradually gets better for me. I think it's just, you know, on the basis of some of my, a couple of my favourite films ever, you know, like The Graduate, or I don't know, Perks of Being a Wallflower. This just, it's got that similar feel to those films, and I just think it's a beautiful movie. Zach Braff, who plays a movie star, Andrew, and he returns to his hometown. He is acquainted with his father, who they've had a bit of a checkered history. He's attending to his mother's funeral. And one day out of the blue, he goes to like a hospital, and then I think he's getting like getting a checkup or something, and then he stumbles upon Natalie Portman as Samantha, and they start to blossom a bit of a friendship. It's like Samantha's just got all these quirks, and she's got witty humour and stuff. And yeah, basically there's a bit of a dysfunctional family side plot there with Samantha's family, but yeah, I just love the magic of this pairing, and Peter Sarsgaard is like Andrew's best friend in this film as well. I love the scene with the house party, and you've got like, it's like kind of a stop motion sort of segment. The soundtrack is goats, and I just think it is a wonderful film. And who knows, guys, as each viewing goes on, this might get up to 5 stars for me. And yeah, that ending is a beautiful way to wrap up the film as well. Ian Holm plays Andrew's father in that one as well. Next director on this list, and my favourite film from Billy Wilder, is The Apartment. Now, this is a fantastic film. Now, when I rewatched this, guys, I did bump it up to 5 stars. I think it is just near to perfection. You follow this guy in New York, and he's like an office clerk, and to kind of he's making a bit of like extra money. He lends his apartment out to like visitors for like a 2-hour slot or something. Then little does he know, he actually is acquainted with his boss's like love interest partner in the film, played by Shirley MacLaine. And basically, Jack Lemmon, I should have said earlier, Jack Lemmon and Shirley MacLaine start to form a bit of a close relations there, like close association there, and with work, but outside of work as well. That I think there was one segment where they would agree to meet outside this like the cinema, but then it's kind of put things to a bit of a grinding halt there. And then you get Shirley MacLaine that's actually spending time with like her boss. Just a fantastic film. I love the Christmas, New Year's Eve setting to this one as well. Love the nighttime rainy kind of effects to New York in this film. And yeah, it's because of this film that I really want to check out more Billy Wilder's films. And there's films I've seen from Billy Wilder I've just got nothing but fantastic things to say about, and I can only thank Roy at Blue Roy Movies for that. So yeah, that's The Apartment, my favourite film from Billy Wilder. Then my favourite PTA film, Paul Thomas Anderson, I should say there. And now Paul Thomas Anderson, I could have easily picked another film or this other film, because he has just become one of my favourite directors. He gave me my favourite film of last year with One Battle After Another, but he's also just delivered some wonderful films like Licorice Pizza or There Will Be Blood. But I think, in my opinion, guys, I think PTA's masterpiece has to be Magnolia. I just think this is a spectacular film, and I think just what it does with 3 hours plus, it just does so much with it. You can't take your eyes off the screen from minute 1 to the very last seconds. The soundtrack from Amy Mann is beautiful in this. I love the original songs in this. The constant repeats of Dreams by Gabrielle that really makes an impact on William H. Macy's character in this film. William H. Macy, who plays this former quiz show champion, and his winnings have just been kind of stolen from his parents, and he's been laid off from work, and he wants to get a slice of revenge there back at his boss, so he plots a bit of a plan. You've also got the guy who is like this quiz show host at present day, and he's had some life-changing news, but he's also had a bit of a checkered history there, and then him and his and it's because of that checkered history he's had, it's made him and his daughter kind of more and more distant, and his wife doesn't even know about this like kind of affair that he had once upon a time ago. You've got Tom Cruise, who this could be one of his best performances, by the way. He's like a man of his own accord. He's like a magician, and yeah, like he would do like talk shows and that, and he basically he kind of makes it all up about his like father. Like he like obviously him and his father are no more, but then this interviewer discovers, is he actually telling the whole damn truth here? And that really kind of throws things on edge. But then he's finding out about his father is in a bit of a vulnerable position, and yeah, you've got like I think 6 or 7, 8 different kind of side stories that's just meshed into one basket, but it all kind of like sort of intertwines with each other as you see like right towards the film. I love kind of the side story, Julianne Moore, and then Philip Seymour Hoffman, and he's got all them dogs as well, and the raining frogs scene. It's just fantastic film. So one of my favourite films of all time now, that's Magnolia. And my favourite Coen Brothers film, now it did used to be I think it used to be Fargo or No Country for Old Men, but I think this film, I gotta say, guys, wasn't love at first sight, and I rewatched it, really enjoyed it, and honestly, like Magnolia and like Garden State Apartment, this is just one of those other films that just gets better and better on each viewing. The dude's bit abides. The Big Lebowski, yeah, I absolutely love and adore this film. The soundtrack is GOAT in this film as well. I just love the dude as a main leading character played by Jeff Bridges. I think Walter, as you know, played by John Goodman, is so unapologetic in this film, and it's just so funny. It's full of one-liners like, oh, what is it? Is this your homework, Larry? Or take it easy, man. There's a beverage here. It's just full of one-liners. Like Mark It Down to Zero. Steve Buscemi as Donnie, who's constantly getting a telling off from Walter, and it's just so funny. And yeah, it's kind of just, it's a film that takes you on a journey, and it's all because of like the dude's getting mixed up with this so-called millionaire, and I think it is Jeffrey Lebowski, and then there's kind of then you've kind of led to believe that there's this kidnapping involved, and it kind of is, it goes from there really. It's just wonderful film, guys. I think it does have a feel of like a Tarantino film as well, just really good stuff. I will just quickly say as well, guys, there was so many other directors. I could have picked a favourite film from each other directors out there, but I might do a follow-up to that someday. But yeah, I thought I'd go with these 10 directors, and the Coen Brothers is one of them with The Big Lebowski, The Dude Abides. Then my favourite Francis Ford Coppola film, and I'm going to make a bold statement here, guys. I think this is potentially the greatest sequel ever made, in my opinion. And I just think that this to be released 2 years after the original is just a work of accomplishment from this director, Francis Ford Coppola. And my favourite film from Francis Ford Coppola is The Godfather Part 2. This is just the definition of how you do a sequel. And for Marlon Brando as Vito Corleone to pass the bat over to his son Michael Corleone, played by Al Pacino, And this is when you see Al Pacino would just evolve and evolve as an actor. And around this time, there was just no stopping him. There was nothing stopping Francis Ford Coppola as well. But it was just, man, year after year, he was just, you know, starring in like home run after home run. And I just think this is one of his best performances. But, you know, like, I just think the first film is just absolutely perfection, in my opinion. How could they better it? And wow, fair play to the Francis Ford Coppola. He just, again, went that extra bit above and beyond with this. I just find it so fascinating. We follow a young Vito Corleone, played by Robert De Niro. The scene when he's, you know, like there's the parade scene. He's running from that rooftop. That rooftop's gotta be one of the greatest scenes in film, in my opinion. And then Michael Corleone, who kind of makes a refusal in this film, and then that segues into like a bit of a betrayal in the family, but also he's kind of like his life is on the line when his family have been that there's been an attempted murder towards the Corleone family, and then they've got to flee and move away. They've got to ask Tom Hagen to played by Robert Duvall, to protect the family home whilst they go away. I think they go away to Cuba, I think. And also Diane Keaton as Michael's wife, who basically tells Michael a bit of a secret, and it really, and you could just see that scene where he just breaks down, and it's just some of the finest acting in this film is in this film here, folks, as is the first film as well. But yeah, just love the comparison scenes between young Vito and Michael in this film. And yeah, that whole trial scene is one of my favorite scenes in the film. And just, again, Fredo, who's a brilliant like character in this film, and you learn about what Fredo has done, and like how is Michael going to take to all of this. Just fantastic, spectacular piece of cinema, and it is just one of the greatest films ever, in my opinion, and possibly the greatest sequel ever made. So that is The Godfather Part 2. I've gone for my favourite film from Thomas Vinterberg, a Danish filmmaker. And Thomas Vinterberg also, prior to this, gave us the film The Hunt with Mads Mikkelsen, which that film is a fucking amazing, guys. I think if you love Mads Mikkelsen and you love foreign language film, that I would highly implore you to check out. But years later, he gave us this film with Another Round. Now, this might just be one of Mads' best performances here. I think this is just wonderful. This is a 5-star film for me. Like, Mads Mikkelsen, who plays a school teacher. I think it's this school year, it's their last year of school, and I think he teaches them English history. And basically, this classroom, that they're not really gravitating towards him as a teacher and his teaching style. And then he goes out with a group of friends, like after work or like on a day off. And then basically, I think there's a PE teacher that gives him his advice, where if you have a bit of alcohol or a beer before you start, like you start work and start your shift, basically that could really boost your confidence, is what the teacher said to Mads Mikkelsen in this film. And he takes on that advice, and then basically it kind of boosts his confidence, but it does set the template for some sheer consequence within his family, with his other half. But also, is kind of becoming more and more addictive to this new theory and this new style of teaching, this new way of living. And it's just a fantastic drama, guys. Like, and the ending has an uplifting ending. I think it, and with that song playing as well. And it's just, yeah, wonderful film set around the wintry season as well. And yeah, there's one scene where you see this teacher that's really in kind of in a really bad state, and you see where that is, is it going to gradually get worse for this teacher, or is he going to get lands back on his feet? It's just wonderful, beautiful film. That is another rounder. And it's kind of a bit of a sheer coincidence with this one, because Steven Soderbergh, now, he has actually a bit of a newcomer to some of, I would even say, some of my favourite directors, and I would say Steven Soderbergh is actually is slowly coming into that bracket, because I just love Steven Soderbergh. I think he is just such a versatile director. You know, he's done like a wide range of genres. I had to spotlight Steven Soderbergh in this video because he has got a brand new film coming out this week. And now, I think originally with that film, The Christophers, which is coming out this weekend, I was thinking, I thought this might have been, yeah, a solid watch, but I don't know if it was a kind of a cinema trip sort of viewing. But when I found out that Steven Soderbergh's directing that film, I thought, yeah, absolutely, I'm in. And I really got into Steven Soderbergh as a director last year. And what is my favourite film by Steven Soderbergh, you ask, is right at the kickstart of his filmography with his directorial debut. And I think this is got to be one of the best films, quite possibly, I have ever watched. And that's his debut film, Sex, Lies and Videotape. I just think this film is outstanding, guys. Just absolutely fantastic. You know, like, where you're just following James Spader, he's a bit of a shady character, but he's a bit of a sly fox in his film. But he wants to interview, like, I think these couples, but like the other half of each of these couples, like this lady or this lady's husband, and you kind of know where I'm getting at with that. But he's kind of reunited with his close friend after a number of years, and he kind of falls for like this guy, like his wife. And basically he kind of wants to learn more about their relationship after a number of years, and that's why he does these interviews, and like he basically videotapes these interviews for kind of his own, like, his own thing there. So yeah, it's a really interesting film, like, done on a shoestring budget, and like kind of some of the high angle shots where you just focus on, like, you know, like this neighborhood, and I think the lady's like husband who works at, I think it like this kind of I don't know, like he works in like kind of this office block, and he doesn't know about all of this like going on. It's just fantastic drama. The acting is brilliant in this film, great dialogue, and you're just waiting to find out when this character's gonna find out this hidden truth there. And it's kind of interesting knowing that some hidden truth from the main lady in there, even her husband doesn't know about, but yet she's revealing it to James Spader's character. Just a fantastic film. That's my favourite Steven Soderbergh film, Sex, Lies and Videotape. Then I had to go with Alfred Hitchcock. Again, Alfred Hitchcock, I could have gone with so many of his films, to choose as my favourite film by him, because like Alfred Hitchcock, there's just no denying it, is one of the greatest filmmakers ever, and who has also just given us a wide range of genres that he has delivered within like his filmography. But my favourite Alfred Hitchcock film has to be a film that I remember when I first watched it, guys, and it really just took my breath away, and that is the wonderful Rear Window. Yeah, I think it's just the definition of how you do a film, like in one location, just in like one room and this apartment block, and it does so much with so little. And I just think this is a fantastic watch, where Jimmy Stewart plays someone who is out of action. He's suffered like this severe injury. I think it might have been from a car incident, I think it was, and basically he is in like his room, and he's just like, basically he's just I Spies, or he's just like, you know, like admiring kind of the views like of his neighborhood. You know, you just follow like the close-up shots of these like these apartment blocks as well. And I just love the shifting tone with this film, where you just follow, it would be a summer's hot day, then it would be through this heat wave, and then onto, you know, this at like nighttime, and it's just absolutely brilliant. Grace Kelly and that neighbour also plays great additions to this story, and Jimmy Stewart is kind of discovering as the film goes on that there's been a murder that's happened from like the opposite apartment, and he's just basically like I spying this guy who is basically done this murder, and he's just so intrigued and so enthralled by what he's just witnessed. And it's basically like you have these supporting characters that are giving these instructions to find out more evidence, and it's all kind of led by James Stewart, who's in this like main room throughout. And I just think this is a absolutely fantastic film, guys. Honestly, just one of the best films I've ever seen. And the last time I watched this, it was me, my mum and dad. We all watched this. Like, I think it was when the Euro was on back in 2024, and we all sat down, watched it as a family. And yeah, we all just loved this film, and it was a great family viewing of that. So that is Rear Window, my favourite film from Alfred Hitchcock. And the second to last one for this video. But like I say, guys, I might do a follow-up video to this at some point down the line, naming another few directors and my favourite films from each of that director, because I could have gone with so many, but I just think the video would have just been far too long, and I've already got a habit of doing that as it is. But my favourite, not necessarily the best film from this director, but my personal favourite film from this director, and he doesn't star in it, he is in the director's chair, but I think if I was to go for film starring this actor-director, it would be Annie Hall. But my personal favourite film by this director, and it is Midnight in Paris by Woody Allen. Now, Woody Allen is a love or hate sort of director. A director you're either gonna really get on well with his films or not get on real well with his films. But there's just so many of his films I just so happen to really like. And I just couldn't see this director make the really influence on someone like Richard Linklater and the Before trilogy. So, but yeah, my favourite Woody Allen film is Midnight in Paris. I think this is a beautiful drama, this. I remember watching this for the first time during the pandemic in 2020. And yeah, it was love at first sight, where you follow this couple who, I've got to say, as lovely and beautiful. Rachel McAdams is a fantastic actress. I've got to say, guys, her character is a bit of an arsehole in this film. She's just not a very likable character in this film. And the way she just bosses like Owen Wilson's character around, I think they've just been engaged in this film and they go on a holiday to Paris. I think Michael Sheen gives them a bit of a detour in this film as well. And then you've also got like Tom Hiddleston. You've got that same French actress who's been in a couple of the Bond movies. But yeah, so you've got a fantastic cast. But Owen Wilson, who just wants to get away from, you know, this sort of like palaver, this rubbish. His wife has been like treating him like shit and thrown under the bus. So Owen Wilson just kind of gets away from all of that nonsense and basically discovers this 1920s nightclub. And he's got such a fascination for 1920s Paris, and it's kind of like a time capsule in the sense that he's kind of drawn into what it's like for 1920s Paris, and he kind of wants to do, and it's this dedicated 1920s like nightclub in Paris. And again, it's just a fantastic film, guys. You know, a beautiful story. I love the scene where Owen Wilson's by like this market and then he's discovering records from way back when that he's never discovered before. I love the nightlife in Paris in this film and the scenes between him and this French actress in this film, who's does a fantastic job in this film. Just brilliant movie, guys. And my personal favourite Woody Allen film is Midnight in Paris. And the last director for this film, and again, Martin McDonagh is, again, got to be one of the best directors in Hollywood right now. He has just given us the likes of 3 Billboards in Bruges, and yeah, this director is just incredible. I think he's got a brand new film coming out this year as well. But my favourite Martin McDonagh film has to go to The Banshees of Inisherin. This film is fantastic, guys. I just think, again, that was nominated for so many awards, so many Oscars. 2022 was just such an unbelievable year for film. It was glorious, and it was definitely one of the best films of that year. And again, I just like this kind of unlikely kind of friendship between Brendan Gleeson and Colin Farrell, who they are lifelong friends, but they start to kind of become a bit distant from one another. They constant have digs at one another and, you know, like constantly pointing the finger. Oh, he's done this or he's done that. It's like a bit of an in and out thing here. Basically, there is that going on, but then Brendan Gleeson gives Colin Farrell the cold shoulder, a bit of a verbal warning. If you do this, I'm going to go in my way and do something drastic here. And that's something drastic. I don't want to spoil it for anyone that hasn't seen this film, but oh my God, he will go there and he won't stop there. And wow, when I first discovered what he actually went on to doing in order to get Colin Farrell off his hair and off his back, it's like, whoa, this guy, you know, he's actually going there. Also, you see a scene where there's like a house fire involved. Barry Keoghan makes a brilliant addition to this film. This has got to be one of his best performances in this film. Is, you know, Jessie Buckley in this film as well, I'm pretty sure. And she's a great, like, character. I love kind of the Irish folk scene in this movie as well. Brilliantly captured on this island as well. So yeah, fantastic drama, and I'm just really looking forward to seeing what Martin McDonagh brings next to the table. So that is The Banshees of Inisherin. Right, guys, so that has been 10 favourite films from each of these 10 directors. So all these movies I love, guys, and all these directors I am fond of as well. So as I say, guys, I just thought I'd give a few quick mentions. I could have definitely gone for favourite films from directors from the likes of Quentin Tarantino, Martin Scorsese, Wes Anderson, Edgar Wright, or Taika Waititi, Steven Spielberg, and I might do a follow-up video naming my favourite films from those directors, but I kind of wanted to talk about some films I haven't spoken about a great deal on my channel before, and to put a spotlight on, I would say, some of these directors are not necessarily like personal favourite directors, but they are my favourite films from directors that I am, of course, still fond of. But yeah, some of my favourite directors on here are, of course, Francis Ford Coppola and the Coen brothers, PTA, Steven Soderbergh, Alfred Hitchcock are definitely some of my favourite directors on there. So yeah, guys, I just think this would be a really cool thing to kickstart here from a favourite director or a director in general, and just basically the idea of the game is picking as many films as you want from as many directors as you want, and basically naming that favourite film from any director. And I've picked 10 here, but it can be as many selection of films as you want from each selection of directors. So yeah, I just think it'd be great to learn about a favourite film from a director, from someone else and someone else in the film community. So yeah, guys, hope everyone enjoyed that video. Do let me know if what's your thoughts on these directors and these films, and do also let me know, also, guys, if you are wanting to do a response video to this, you're more than welcome to. And like I say, Jodie, Lisa, I did nominate Lisa as well, I'm pretty sure. Jodie, Lisa, Peter Pedro's movie Caravan, Tim and Ash. Just to say as well, guys, this is absolutely optional, but I just think it'd be really cool to learn about what your selection of directors would be and a favourite film from each of that director. So yeah, I thought this would be a fun thread to start here today on the channel. So yeah, guys, hope everyone is having a wonderful week. I really had a great time doing this video. It kind of inspired me just after I finished work yesterday, and it kind of was something that was on my mind, so that would make a cool video there. So hope everyone has a wonderful week ahead, and I'll be back for more content soon there. So thanks for watching, cheers for stopping by, and until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye, take care guys, thank you so much.
Yeah, lights low, screen glow, Sammy G in the zone, let him know. Sammy G strolling in the shot like what's new. Steel cases shining, yeah, you know what to do. Another flick in his hand, yeah, it's coming back home. Shelf getting heavy, but the passion's full grown from classics to the wild new scenes. Director's cut life, yeah, he living them dreams. No dust on the vision, just loving the frame. Every movie got a memory, every memory got a name. He don't chase clout, he chased that art. Cinema running deep, straight part of the heart. Press play, let the world fade out. Singing every word like nobody's watching now.